let's get into some solicits then. So May solicits for this year. We'll get into it. There's a bunch of stuff that is of interest. I would say some of which we knew, some of which we maybe did not. But first up, we have Titans issue 1. This is obviously one that we did know about. We got a few more covers for it now. Most of them look nice enough. So this is obviously Tom Taylor's new series with Nicholas Scott. New ongoing series. What is there to say except this is a dream team.
Yep.
And we've been loving Nightwing, so an extension of that sounds like also like a dream. So by all means, give it to me into my veins. Thank you and kindly.
Yeah, that Dan Mora cover. I mean, I thought I really liked their Nicola Scott cover. Then they dropped that Dan Mora variant, and man, looks so good.
Yep, yep. Very, very good. Then we have Shazam issue 1, which, for the record, some of these covers are very, very nice.
I think it's cool that they got Somni to do a cover, because I can't think of a lot of Somni DC work. So.
Yeah, and well, he's worked with Wade, so that's probably how that happened.
Yeah.
There's a few interesting.
And that Shaner cover, he's another one that we already knew he could draw Mary, right?
Oh, I mean, there was no doubt he could do.
It just looks right. Actually,
it's like I kind of like that one with the dinosaur as well. It's got like it's got like a weird sort of golden age kind of like sheen to it that I kind of like.
Yeah, it looks like an old a Doc Savage cover.
Yeah. But yeah, the Shinner one's obviously gorgeous. So this is Mark Waid writing with Dan Mora on art. So this is a new Shazam book, which is exciting news. We've been wanting an ongoing Shazam for a while, and obviously the Johns one's had its moments, but it was had a lot of delays, kind of had to wrap up at a weird time. This hopefully will be more of a consistent thing, and given the way that they've been treating characters like Nightwing and treating stuff like the Batgirl's books had like a lot of room to breathe, and even though it's not the biggest seller every month, it's getting into its late teens and issues and feels like it's getting at least a fair shake. I don't know if it'll last too much longer, but it's still going. So excited for this. So I mean,
and reading the solicit text, it definitely sounds like it's going to be more of a lighthearted type take on, almost like a back to basics Shazam. Which
Wade's very good at. I mean, the first thing says, the first words in the text is dinosaurs from space.
Yeah, the Clubhouse of Eternity. But like the thing that gets me is, about halfway through, it says, want to stop Lex Luthor and Joker, call Superman and Batman. International crises, page Wonder Woman. But when Gargo, Emperor of the Moon, sets his sight on Gorilla City, that's when you shout Shazam. And I was like, okay, that is a different enough take. And because I feel like when I think of Shazam, over the last 20 years, it's all John stuff, right? It's him associated with the JSA and Black Adam and that whole thing. And so here, this back to, it's going to be a little bit cheesy. Like one of his old nicknames was the Big Red Cheese. And and that tone shift, I think, will set him apart from some of these other DC books. This is very exciting. And plus Mora, that is a really good match for DC right now, is Wade and Mora. So excited.
Yeah, my only slight concern is that the text nor the covers at any point indicate that any of his family members will also be in the book. It might just be Billy on his own, which I think would be a slight shame. Maybe something that he'll bring in after like an arc or something like that. Maybe he wants to just do a little bit of solo Shazam and then bring in the rest later, which would be fine.
Yeah.
But so I'm just saying I hope to see them, is all I'm saying. I don't want them to be left behind. But no, that's cool. So another exciting new series from May. May's got a lot of new stuff. Next up, we have Green Lantern.
#1.
Issue 1. This is written by Jeremy Adams. That pause as I'm saying the titles because I'm trying to scroll to the goddamn text is just to make sure what the title is.
It's going to be Jeremy Adams with art by Zermanico, and then a backup that's John Stewart, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, and art by Montos. So big 1-2 punch here of Jeremy Adams and Philip Kennedy Johnson writing.
Yeah, some nice covers on this one as well.
Yeah.
The main cover is very nice. There's one with Sinestro in like a hoodie in the rain, which actually looks quite good. And then I also quite like the one with Hal with the hammer at the fair, trying to impress, I presume, Carol. But
and that's the same artist that did that dinosaur.
Oh, really?
Shazam one.
Okay. Yeah. I can see now you've said that, actually, the similar kind of painting.
Ariel Cologne. So
no, that's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, spelling out the events of Dark Crisis, Guardians of Oa at the heart of the Green Lantern Corps have quarantined Sector 2814, home planet Earth, and its champion along with it. So this is kind of pinning Hal to this sector, so he's going to be sticking around Earth. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, no, there's nothing not to like about this. I mean, Jeremy Adams, well, he's not a huge name. He's been doing, solid, consistent work on The Flash, so I'm kind of excited to see what he might do with Green Lantern. Yeah,
for sure. If it's half as good as his Flash has been, I should still enjoy it. So, and Zermanico on art, I'm a big fan of Zermanico.
Oh, and this is a week 2 book, which is perfect.
Yes.
Because week 2 needs books. Nice. What were those last couple? I'm regretting this because I'm going to scroll a lot now, but Shazam's a week 1. Perfect. I'm happy to see that. Titans is a week 3, so that's still kind of that's not in the quiet weeks, but hey, whatever. 2 out of 3 so far, not bad. So very cool. Next up we have Batman the Brave and the Bold issue 1. So this is a 64-page anthology style book that has stories by Tom King, Ed Brisson, Christopher Cantwell, and Dan Mora. Dan Mora in the writers list. Interesting.
I'm on the arts list, so he's writing and...
Well, I was just going to get to the art list, which is Mitch Gerads, Jeff Spokes, Javier Rodriguez, and Dan Mora. So, interesting stuff.
Feels like this is replacing...
Urban Legends.
Gotham, the Urban Legends book, so...
Yeah, I think it's a little bit shorter, but yeah, it does feel like it's maybe... Do you know what I think it is? I think the title Brave and the Bold just carries a lot more weight to it. And
sure.
I imagine as well that because it's Brave and the Bold, that will Batman be in all the stories?
Reading the text, I'm thinking so.
Yeah, because Brave and the Bold, typically it's usually Batman and he teams up with someone else, which you can be cynical about, but that's kind of the tradition. And if it gets some eyes on some other characters, then that's cool. I'm definitely there to try this, and I hope I like it. I hope that more than one of the stories is because obviously Tom King and Mitch Gerads, I'm assuming that's going to pop, but I hope some of the other ones are. And it, Dan Mora as a writer, I'm not really sure about, and Christopher Cantwell, I don't really know. Ed Brisson is the only name I recognize. I recognize Mora, but obviously not as a writer. So
yeah. Well, Cantwell, it says did *Halt and Catch Fire*, so I don't know if you'd watch that.
I haven't. So he comes from TV then. That's interesting.
Yeah, and it says co-creator of Breyer and Iron Man, so he must have written an Iron Man comic too.
Okay.
These stories seem good. So we have a coming off the success of Batman One Bad Day Riddler, it's King and Gerads reunite for a horrifying 4-part retelling of the first clash between Joker and Batman.
Oh, so this is kind of like a redo of the Man Who Laughs then, which was Brubaker.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was
who did art though.
It was a Brubaker. It was either a one shot or it was like maybe a 3-issue mini, but it was telling the story of the first time Batman encounters Joker. So I'm kind of down for a new version of this, and given that King tends to write a very oppressive Joker, which is my favorite kind of Joker.
Dark.
I'm kind of down for that. Especially, I mean, going on that Riddler one shot from One Bad Day. I mean, geez, give it to me.
Sure.
I'm into that. And then next stories that Justice League may be gone, but enemies aren't. Who'll protect the world from the worst? Ed Brisson and Jeff Spokes pick up a story started in Whalestorm 30th anniversary special as Director Bones and his new covert Stormwatch team travel the globe on blackout missions. Okay, so that's a Stormwatch story.
So judging from the covers, right, with Bones, it looks like you have Shadow and Ravager on this team. And then some characters I don't quite recognize. Someone in kind of like a white ninja kind of vibe.
Yeah, I don't know who that is either.
I don't know who that is. So judging from that cover,
this is quite smart. You've got your main story, which is your Tom King, Mitch Gerads big Batman story, and then you're like, so here's some Stormwatch as a backup story, and then likewise we also have where are we? We have Dan Mora, obviously writing and drawing, and this is a new series of black and white stories.
Yeah.
So cool, interesting.
And then this one, the Cantwell story, has me because not just because of Superman, but for what it says. So the Order of the Black Lamp, Part 1, from Christopher Cantwell and Javier Rodriguez. Superman finds a decoder ring with a secret message of "Save Me," which sends him on a quest to solve a mystery with ties to the Man of Steel's past. So it doesn't seem like it's just Batman, but
that one's interesting because like, how does that fit into Brave and the Bold? Sure, I mean, even if it's not Batman, he has to be teaming up with someone, otherwise it's not Brave and the Bold. Right. So
yeah,
curious. It feels a little bit odd in this like set of stories. Like, I'm interested in it, but it feels odd in this set of stories. So I'm just curious, like, how it feels like it fits when we actually get to read it. But I'm definitely there to read it. Obviously, there's a lot of new books in May. It's kind of an exciting time. Feels like a fresh start almost for a lot of the line. But fantastically, we're not losing any of the good books really that we currently like to get them, which is kind of nice. So. You know, and I think we are at a stage right now where we do need some more books. It's not just a case of, you know, because sometimes we're, you know, so we've got so many books we could use trimming a couple. I don't feel that right now. I feel like we need a few more, like particularly on the first couple of weeks of the month. Next up we got Cyborg, Cyborg's new book. This is by Morgan Hampton, art by Tom Rainey. And the short story that we got recently was kind of it had me kind of optimistic, even though the creative team isn't the exact same.
Yep.
So, you know,
but Morgan Hampton, it says a Milestone Initiative writer. So they came from you know, Milestone, which is good, and it's a new name. So yeah, I'm curious to start this one. It's or to try this one. Cyborg's back in Detroit, which we saw in that Power short.
Yeah.
So it says an aggressive new company is turning the Motor City into an overclocked engine for revolutionary artificial intelligence, and no one knows better than Cyborg that technological transformation always comes with a steep human price. So, you know, it's a mini-series. It says 1 of 6.
Yeah, 1 of 6, yeah.
So, you know, I'm curious to try this one. I liked that story a lot with him and his mom and the origin of Booyah and what that exactly means to him. So, I hope it's good. I really do, because like I've tried so many Cyborg issue ones, and it's not really that many. It's like 3 probably, but every time I'll try one, maybe read an issue 2, and then kind of fall away from it. I'm hoping this one will be good and sort of like stick the whole 6 issues. Next up, so we had a few books announced this week. This is the first of these. I assume they're all back to back, but we'll find out in a second. So this first one is called Spirit World, and it's the first of 3 Asian focused characters in new miniseries. So they're all 6 issue minis, I think. And this is Alyssa Wong writing, with art by Haining. Noticeably, they have the Asian text next to the names here as well, which is just cool. So yeah, this is a 6 issue miniseries, and no, I mean, this is probably the one that I'm least intrigued by out of the 3, just because Alyssa Wong's less of a known factor to me. I will say this, though, based on this cover, is tying in Cassandra Cain to make me a little bit more curious is a genius move, because they're like, hey, this is a new character, you're maybe not in love with the concept yet, but you like Cassandra Cain. So because she's involved, you're going to want to read it. So that might turn out to be a genius little move to get us invested. And then, you know... Because I was in the same way. I was like, that's a new Magic character? Okay. All right. And then, Cass is there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, when they brought in Cass and are tying her... Because she is also an Asian character, and it makes sense to tie her into kind of this line. That was like, okay, you know what? You've kind of got me a little bit curious now. And so more on the setup, like, short story later, but to start with though, interesting. The next one is, and these have all got like a kind of a similar banner at the top of their front covers. The next one is The Vigil, and this is a team book, and this comes from Ram V writing, who we love on this show, so this was always a no-brainer to try, if nothing else. Art by Lalit Kumar Sharma, and this is a team, I believe, of Indian characters. And again, they had a short story in one of the Lazarus Planet books. So yeah, it's like 3 characters who all have very different abilities. Really cool. There's a cover here that's like a pin board with different newspaper clippings that is gorgeous. It makes me think of like a Mitch Gerrard's like crime book or something like that, or maybe even, I don't know, maybe even a little bit of Ram V's own Catwoman run. I mean, maybe a lot of those vibes.
There's a bit of intrigue going on that's not just superhero. Like there's like underworld kind of stuff. at play here.
I mean, honestly, I don't need to know a thing about this because like it's Ram V. Like, obviously, I'm trying it. There's no question. So
I mean, that's why I originally read that story a couple weeks back, because it was Ram V. And then when I opened it up and it was Jason Todd, I went, oh. But very curious about this because him doing a team book, the last time he had done a team was Justice League Dark. So I'm so used to him just doing solo type stuff. And although he seems to kind of have a team mentality on his Detective Comics run with the way that he's interspersing all these different characters. So, but yeah, this seems fun.
Yeah, no, I'm into it. And then the third book is City Boy, which is from Greg Pak, who we've not seen at DC in quite some time. Outside of maybe like a short anthology book or something like that. You know, I like one of my few bright spots of the New 52 was when Pak was writing action. Like I enjoyed that. Like it was like 3 trades worth, but I really enjoyed that period. And it was a time when I wasn't enjoying a lot of DC. So I am super excited to have Greg Pak back writing something. We got Minkayu Jung on the art for this as well. And this is a kind of an interesting character who kind of like sees the history of things he touches in the city.
So what I like here is it says that, you know, like he, depending on the city he's in, there's different avatars of the cities. And that's something that I didn't pick up on. I thought that was just maybe a companion of his, you know, so like, you know, the Gotham one's a rat avatar made out of scraps, but what about Metropolis, Bloodhaven, Amnesty Bay, or even Themyscira? So I like that it's playing with the different, you know. It's
kind of building his own little mythology around his powers. Like I think out of all the new characters, his powers seem the most interesting to me.
Yeah.
Out of the characters, but much like the Ram V book, I was like, oh, it's Pak. Like I'm trying it. Like there's no question. So no, this is a cool little line of books that they're starting off in May.
Yeah.
And you know, we'll see if any of the characters stick beyond these miniseries. You know, because you know they've done this in the past. Like at the time since we started this show, we had that new age of DC heroes, and I really like Sideways and Silencer in that, but they've mostly not been around. Like Sideways has been in a couple of panels in like a in Dark Crisis or whatever, but other than that, they've mostly just disappeared.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Yeah, Sideways is teaming up with Red Canary over there. So, yeah, that's the last time I remember. And Silencer, shoot, I haven't seen Silencer since that Nightwing story.
That's right,
you know, when he was doing the race with Ben Percy.
That was right before Rick Grayson. That was the last couple issues before that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
and that was what drove Percy away from DC, if I remember right. I mean, I don't know if they ever said that. It was never confirmed, but that was just timeline wise. Timeline wise, he was writing Nightwing, and then all of a sudden, this Rick Grayson shit had to happen, and all of a sudden, he wasn't writing DC anymore.
He's like, I'm out. I'm gonna go tell stories of actual werewolves and just tie him into Wolverine. You know?
Yeah, so I mean that's just some speculation on my part, but I'm sticking to it, damn it. Alright, next up, if I can scroll past the 50 covers, is Batman issue 135, which they're also noting here, the legacy numbering of is issue 900, which is cool. You know, I really would appreciate if like these longer running books did have the legacy numbering on them, especially since they're not as convoluted as some Marvel books, and you can actually easily go and just work this out that it's correct. Because I stopped a while ago, but there was a time when I was keeping track of what numbering was actually at in like the books, and I remember when Flash and Wonder Woman hit 750 and they chose to actually change to that. I was like, yeah, I can confirm. Like my own personal tracking of this puts them at that. Whereas sometimes when Marvel have done it, they've been including annuals and they've been including like side stories and like mini series that tied in, and I'm like, nah, that's cooking the books. Like, as much as DC have changed the numbers, and you can argue if you want if they should even consider this issue 900, like, it is just purely, Batman issue 1 through, like, 700 something, and then, like, the New 52 book, and then the Rebirth book, and that's it. That's the 3 books, and they make up this number, and it adds up. So, yeah, so they're doing, obviously, a big special 56-page, $7 issue for issue 900, which, they're always going to do with these things. So yeah, that's cool. There's some nice covers there. There's a good Bahermo cover with Batman and Joker on top of a building, which I quite like.
With the gargoyle Joker-esque face.
Yep.
On the building, so it looks pretty cool.
That's really cool. So this will be obviously whatever we get after this multiverse arc in in Batman right now. This is probably going to be in the next arc, I would assume, because it's talking about Red Mask and no, it may actually still be the same.
No,
arc.
Red Mask is in that story. Yeah, Batman versus Red Mask in a brutal Gotham.
This is the conclusion. Yeah, okay, this is the final part of that story. Interesting. So we've got at least another like 4 issues of that then. Okay, all right. Well, I hope it sticks a landing. I hope it does, because I'm kind of mixed on the story right now, so I'm hoping it lands and does something special for that big anniversary size issue. So cool. Next up, we have, that's a lot of Power Girl covers. We have Power Girl Special Issue 1, written by Leah Williams and art by Margaret Savage, which I can tell you right now, I'm not reading this because Margaret Savage's art is not for me. I'm just going to say it right now.
And I am enjoying the story from Leah Williams, so I will be checking this out.
You're more than welcome to.
Yep.
This is actually a week 5 book, so I think this is the first week 5 book we've hit, but so we'll probably get a couple of annuals of specials later on.
Yeah, so this is a special, it says, so I feel like they're just testing the waters, but I'm enjoying that backup in action, and from what we had in the Lazarus Planet, so yeah, not for me, but that's okay. That's Power Girl Special Issue 1. Next up, we have Green Arrow Issue 2. So obviously this is starting in April. This is the Joshua Williamson run of Green Arrow. It is only a 6-issue miniseries. Who knows though? Maybe it'll get the Poison Ivy treatment where it gets extended. It's always possible. But it is a shame that they can't just assume that Green Arrow will do well enough to be an ongoing. But those are the times we live in. So very cool. Then of course we have a Nightwing issue 104. Oh my god, this cover.
Which one?
With the first cover, I think it's that's Redondo?
Oh yeah, it's the meme. It's the guy who's like looking all suave, and the guy in the front with his hands in his face. Yeah, okay.
And just Beast Boy with that face is cracking me up. So,
it is quite good. I'll give you that.
He's got that swagger.
That's good. So cool. And there's a backup in Nightwing now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nightwing and John Kent. That should be fun.
Yeah.
I love that relationship.
And it's notable, the backup's written by C.S. Picat with art by Eduardo Pansica. The main story is Tom Taylor, obviously, with Travis Moore in this particular issue.
Yeah, and C.S. Picat, I think, did the Bitewing story in the Nightwing annual.
Okay, really? Okay.
Where, I think, I might have that wrong. They might have done the one after that, but I think it was the Bitewing.
It kind of feels like they've promoted Nightwing here, like because typically it's Batman, Superman, and some of those books that have the backups and are the dollar extra. I think it's interesting that Nightwing's now seen as to be that caliber.
Yeah.
Because you know why, DC? Because everyone loves Dick, and if Dan Didio wasn't so stubborn for years, you'd know this by now. You'd have known it years ago. So yes, thank you and kindly.
Dick sells.
Oh dear. All right, I'm scrolling past a lot of Superman covers here. Superman issue 4, Joshua Williamson, Jamal Campbell. Not surprising. There's an issue of, I assume that's Brainiac on like an operating table just with mad science shit.
Bizarro.
Oh, Bizarro. Sorry, yes. I said Brainiac. Yeah, Bizarro. Yeah, of course. That looks really cool. I also quite like the main cover with the claw coming through the cape. It's very
the kryptonite claw.
Yes, but so it's very Infinity Gauntlet where each nail's a different color of kryptonite.
Yeah. So it definitely. I figured you'd have liked the streaky cover too.
That's all right. Yeah. That's cute. Yeah. That's the thing.
So. Yeah, no, I'm Williamson doing new villains, because that was a thing in Green Arrow 2, introducing another new villain, and now here he's introducing Kryptonite Claw. Like, I always joked that Williamson is kind of Jeff Johnsy.
Wait. That's the name? I thought you just said that because that's what it looked like.
No.
His name is Kryptonite Claw.
With 2 Ks. Yeah, Claws with also a K. But I was just saying, like...
the Mortal Kombat school of spelling, I see.
That is. So the things with Williamson is he is Johns-esque, and not just because of a long lengthy run in Flash, but like Johns love to create new villains to put the heroes against. And and here's Williamson doing something similar in all of his books. So
oh man, this Cyborg Superman cover for what I assume is Action. I've not scrolled down yet, but Action Comics 1055 with that phenomenal cover. Main story by Philip Kennedy Johnson, Dan Jurgens, and then Dorado Quick. So it's not the Power Girl story anymore in Action. The third one's a different story. So interesting.
Hank Henshaw. Let's see. What's the backup? I'm looking.
I don't think it specifically says anything about the.
They don't say what it's going to be. It's just.
I mean, I assume the Dan Jurgens one's just more of the.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I figured. But I want to see what the new one was. But yeah.
No, it doesn't mention. No. So that's cool. It's worth mentioning, Action Comics is $5, the same as the other books with backups, but Action Comics actually has 2 backups. Yeah. So you actually get 8 more pages for the same price as you do, Batman or Nightwing. Yeah. It's like there's very few wins in these days with most books being $5, but I feel like that's one that's they threw you a bone. they could have charged an extra $1 for that if they wanted to, and it would be annoying, but they could have done.
Don't give them ideas. Well, DDO's not charging more, so it's fine.
Yeah. Then we have Adventures of Superman, John Kent, issue 3, which, obviously we heard some stuff about this earlier in the month with the Injustice stuff coming into play. Yeah. But, yeah, cool. I'm sad that Clayton Henry's doing the art, but you can't win everything in life, so
true.
I'll just move on. And then next up we have Superboy the Man of Tomorrow issue 2. I forgot this was coming out, to be honest, but
I was just letting my wife know like how good I've been on spending money on comics, and now they're dropping all these super books in May and April, so
yep. So yeah, man, 16th of May is going to be busy. I've been noticing that date a lot in these books. Yeah. So yeah, Superboy, The Man of Tomorrow, issue 2, Kenny Porter with Janoy Lindsay on the art. So that's that. And then we have Unstoppable Doom Patrol, issue 3 by Dennis Culver and Chris Burnham. I'm looking forward to this. In fact, I'm looking forward to it more because of a story in Lazarus thingy this week. So that's Lazarus Planet. I actually forgot the title.
Lazarus Thingy. No, it's Lazarus Thingy from now on.
So that's cool. And yeah, there's nice covers. And you got
some Green Lanterns popping up.
Yeah, specifically Kyle and Guy, by the looks of it on the covers.
The best one and the worst one, and that is a true statement for either of us.
No, Jessica's my favorite. Kyle's my second favorite.
Over Kyle?
Yeah, Jessica first, Kyle second.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, Jessica, then Kyle. Then I don't know, I'd have to think about the middle, but Guy's at the bottom. Guy's definitely the bottom.
Right, 50 pounds of dirt. Big guy for you. So, yeah.
All right. Next up, we got Harley Quinn issue 30 by Tini Howard and Sweeney Boo.
Is that a Frisian cover? That is a Frisian cover.
Is that the one that's intentionally Margot Robbie?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
With all the pastels and
Yep. Then we have
new Milestone.
Well, we have New Talent Showcase, the Milestone Initiative issue 1. So this is so they've done this in the past. It's been a while, I feel like, but they did this. They've done this at least 2 or 3 times since we started the show, which is it's one of these 100-page, in this case 112 pages. So they're going all out for this one. Yeah. But it's basically just like in this case it's 12 stories by 12 writers and artists who are upcoming through the DC school, whatever they call it. I can't remember what they call the damn thing. But
it's the writing initiative. That's where.
There you go, the writing initiative.
Yeah.
So it's all new people. And we've tried this in the past, and it is on the week 5. I still suspect I won't want to read this, but I appreciate what it is, though. I appreciate that it's this chance for all these.
I appreciate that it's there. It says it's only $4. I don't know if it's a misprint. For $4 for 112 pages.
I mean, that's one way to sell it. Is here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if there's not too much else going on, I might want to. Although I'm not that well versed on Milestone characters. Like I know who Hardware is and Rocket and Icon, but the rest and Static. But the rest of them, I'm not too sure. But yeah, I don't want to overcommit to anything. But $4 for 112 pages. The part of me that likes a deal is there. And it's got a Dennis Cowan cover, which is pretty cool. So,
yeah, I know that because of the quality in this is going to vary all over the place because it's all these new people. Like, and the fact that I barely know any of these characters means that I don't think I'm going to bother. But I appreciate that it exists. I think it's a nice idea that they do this. So that's cool. Sticking with some milestone stuff, we have Static Shadows of Dakota issue 4. So that's ongoing. Well, it's not. It's a miniseries. But you know what I mean. It's continuing, is what I meant to say. Then we have Batman White Knight Presents Generation Joker issue 1. So this is a 6-issue miniseries in the White Knight sort of universe. So cool.
This has become its own thing at this point, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of, it seems to always have a miniseries. You know, it'll do its 6 to 8 issues miniseries, then the next one will start up. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's playing with its own continuity here, and yeah, that's I like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Then we got some Peacemaker stuff here. This has got a lot of covers. So we got Peacemaker Tries Hard issue 1. That's actually a pretty good title. That's a pretty good title. Written by Kel Starks and art by Steve Pugh. This is a 6-issue miniseries, so this is issue 1 of 6. And yeah, having earned his release from the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker wants to try and do normal superhero stuff for a change. Unfortunately, everyone, including the bad guys, thinks he sucks at superhero stuff. But when busting up a terrorist ring introduces Christopher Smith to the cutest thing ever, walk awkwardly in 4 legs, he finds unconventional love he's been denied his whole life. That is until the dog is kidnapped right out from under him by a supervillain who has some very unsuperheroic plans for Peacemaker's brand of ultra-violence. Will he help an infamously unstable superpowered criminal steal the world's most valuable and dangerous DNA? Honestly, Christopher's pretty lonely, so it probably just depends on how nicely they ask. So, yeah, Peacemaker miniseries. Obviously, Peacemaker's character's like cachet has moved up a lot because of the TV show, because he was in the Suicide Squad movie.
And it seems like it's that version, because I wasn't that familiar with Peacemaker up until Suicide Squad, and they made him Cena. And now it seems like that iteration is bleeding its way back into comics, which I love when stuff works like that.
And I've not seen a single person say they're upset that Peacemaker's changed, which tells me there wasn't really a big fan base for him beforehand. Yeah.
Well, I mean, up until he showed up at Suicide Squad, the only thing I knew about Peacemaker was that's who the comedian was based on for Watchmen.
Yeah. Speaking of Suicide Squad, we have Suicide Squad Kill Arkham Asylum issue 1. This is a 5-issue miniseries starting in May. There's a couple of really good covers for this, actually. There's the one that they're all in chains and the bat signals behind them. That looks gorgeous. It's Deadshot, Killer Shark. I assume that's Boomerang and Harley. The blonde hair? I don't know.
Yeah, he's got the sideburns. He's got the chops. I would assume that's him.
And then there's the other one with Killer Shark, like just about to bite in a guy's head. That is gorgeous.
That's Steve Beach cover. That is supposed to.
Yeah, Steve Beach usually delivers. I have to say, Steve Beach covers are usually phenomenal.
John Layman.
Yeah, so this is John Layman writing with Jesus Hervas on the art. I'll read this since it's new and I didn't expect it. Before the Suicide Squad kills your favorite heroes in the upcoming video game. Oh, this is a video game related thing. Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League is coming out, of course, in May, which is why this is starting. Join us for the thrilling prequel and witness them kill Arkham Asylum. Amanda Waller is taking control of the recently rebuilt Arkham Asylum, and her brutal tactics and merciless methods have led to the most secure asylum Gotham has ever known. But when cell doors open and the inmates are left to a free-for-all deathmatch, Waller's true intentions reveal themselves. Identify the strongest, smartest, and most brutal inmates of the asylum to serve on our Task Force X. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that Waller's got ulterior motives.
You can't trust her.
I'm a little bit bummed this is just a video game thing, actually, because the covers look really nice. But, I mean, it makes sense. They usually do these when the big movies or video games are coming out. Yep. So, fair enough. I remember reading the one for Arkham City back in, like, 2011. Just before the New 52 launched, that summer they had Arkham City 1 through 5 come out. So next up we got the Sandman universe, Nightmare Country, The Glass House issue 2. So this is the next James Tynion issue with art by Alessandro Esterin. So cool. And then we have that white cover with the red Batman logo over the Joker smile. Oh baby, that is a very nice image. Batman, the Joker, the Deadly Duo, issue 7. Obviously, I'm not reading this, but that cover is very nice.
That cover and the Mignola one above it, it's like, I understand if people don't like Mignola's art, but it's very of a style, and I like that.
Yeah, so this is issue 7 of 7. So this is the final issue of the miniseries. And it's a 40-page, $6 book. I don't know if they've all been that size, but the final one is. So, cool. And then next up, we have... Well, this is not a book, but we have the Sandman Morpheus Hell Masterpiece Edition. This is... oh, no, it's a book. It's a 2,872-page hardcover.
Good Lord, don't drop that on your toe.
Oh, it's okay. It's not all one book. It's like 6 books in a set. Okay, that's better, because that's too thick. Like that omnibus spine would just break if it was actually that size.
2,000 pages. Good Lord.
1,500's about the absolute max, and I think that's a bit too big. I think 1,200's your comfortable max, but some DC omnibuses have been like 1,500 pages, and they're just a little too unwieldy. But 6 volumes collecting the Sandman issues 1 to 75, the Dream Hunters, Overture, so it's basically all the stuff that's in the Absolutes, I think, in 6 sort of deluxe size hardcovers with like a weird like helmet that goes around them as a sort of collectible.
Yeah.
So yeah, this thing looks insane, and it costs 500 of your US dollars. So yeah,
that's a steep price. I mean, but that's a lot of books.
I mean, it's effectively 2 regular omnibuses, which would probably cost about 200 to 250. Probably, I mean, these days probably 250. So you're probably paying about 250 for the mask thing that goes around them, just to put it in perspective.
Yeah.
So that's that. Next up, Human Target Book 2. By Tom King, obviously
one of my
issues.
favorite covers. Yep.
Yeah, this is the fire one coming from behind the curtain. This is obviously just the second half. This is 7 through 12. Did the one shot go in the first volume?
Must have
done, yeah.
Must have.
But fair enough. So that's coming out. This is a hardcover. It's not oversized though, so I guess they're saving for that, that 13 issue deluxe hardcover at some point. Swamp Thing Green Hell hardcover has been solicited, which means issue 3 must be on the way.
Yep.
Yeah, this is set up for August. So yeah, cool. 150 pages. That's all 3 issues. We'll talk about issue 2 a little bit later. Suicide Squad Get Joker. This is the Brian Azzarello book. This is the soft cover. The hardcover came out a while ago. So that's neat. Batman versus Robin. This is the Mark Waid book, which that is continuing. So it's interesting that doesn't say volume 1. Yeah, because it is coming back. Like it is going to have an issue, 5, and unless it just is. I mean, it's 248 pages, so maybe it just maybe it's not going to last that much longer.
Yeah, maybe not, because it doesn't say
what it includes.
No.
So yeah, hard to judge. Maybe it's just a miss. Maybe it's meant to say volume 1. It just doesn't.
Right.
Then we have Gotham Knights Gilded City, which was the tie-in to the last video game that came out. So that's it's a hardcover. Interesting. I wouldn't expect that to get a hardcover, but there it is. Batman the Knight hardcover coming out. That's all 10 issues of that bad boy. And then we got Punchline the Gotham game collected edition. That's coming out. We have Batman One Bad Day Catwoman hardcover. So it's basically just the story plus some extras, I guess.
Yeah, all of these with the box set solicited at the bottom.
Yes. Yeah, it has all the rest of the ones basically that haven't come out yet. So yeah, and then you can buy a box set that actually has all the books in it, because there was also a solicit where you could just get the box set with the first few volumes, and then you'd have to buy the rest of the hardcovers separately.
Yeah, it came with an empty box.
Yeah. So it's nice to know that they're selling one that actually has all the books, which, to be honest, is probably the way to buy it, just to get them all. Because I would say at this point, I'm comfortable saying that enough of them are worth having that you might as well just get the whole set. So we still have a couple to get to, admittedly. One coming very soon, but there's that. Then we have an original graphic novel, which is
Young Alfred.
Yeah. Young Alfred, Payne and the Butler, which is that's a good title. I can't deny it's a good title.
Yeah, no.
So that's cool. And then we also have Teen Titans series connecting cover editions. So I think this is the previous released young adult graphic novels, just in a new sort of set of covers.
Plus, I didn't know they were doing Robin, this team together. So it's got Robin, Raven, Beast Boy loves Raven, and then Beast Boy, and this is a connecting covers edition. So that's pretty cool.
We got Superman Camelot Falls, the deluxe edition. This is the Kurt Busiek and art by Carlos Picello and Jesus Marino. And this is from Superman 654 to 58, 662 to 64, and 667.
This was right after Infinite Crisis, I think.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever read this actually.
Yeah.
So, but cool. Yeah, it's another story from the 2000s collected. Crisis on Multiple Earths book 3. Soft cover version, so that's just more of a reprint. Deceased box set with all the Deceased books so far, and soft cover in a slipcase. $100 for 760 pages. Quick way to collect all of them if you want them. Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Omnibus. Now this is an interesting one. So this is basically the 3 miniseries that James Tynion did. Well, he did the first one at least, maybe the first 2. It also has Ryan Ferrier listed, so he probably did the 3rd one. Freddie Williams II did the art on the first one, at least maybe the first 2. And the reason why I'm not sure is because I've read the first one, but not the sequels.
Not the follow-ups.
But the first one was very good. I watched the animated movie recently, and it made me want to go back and read the other 2 because I was like, oh, this is actually really fun, and I was reminded why I liked it so much.
I went to watch that on HBO Max, and they don't have it.
That's not a surprise. They've been dumping so many things.
Yeah, but every other Batman animated movie they had. That was so. I wonder if it was a rights thing because of Ninja Turtles, like they couldn't put it up.
I don't think that. Honestly, Matt, at this point, random things are leaving constantly from HBO Max. I wouldn't.
Sucks.
I would not judge it on anything. I'm sure it's available on something though.
Oh yeah, no, I have it on Blu-ray. I was at work.
All right, okay.
Yeah, I was away.
So no, but this is an interesting omnibus to get, to be honest. So it's 576 pages. It's only 18 issues, but nice big deluxe hardcover if you're into it. I can recommend the first one, and I want to read the others. So cool. All right, we're finally back to single issues here because they keep.
We are. They did this weird on the site.
Well, no, they've been doing this recently though, where they've been putting a set, not all of the collections, but they've been putting like a selection of them in the middle before they get to the rest of the single issues. So anyway, we're at Batgirls issue 18. So that's cool. We're back to Robbie Rodriguez on art for this issue. And the Saints are back, so that's bringing back some characters from the first arc. But yeah, some cool covers for this one as well. I'm into it. Then we got Batman 181 Facsimile Edition.
I'll be getting this just to hang on my wall. So.
Oh, because Poison Ivy's on the cover. I was like, why?
It's the first appearance.
I was like, why? You don't get by these. I'm like, and then I saw the cover.
It's got my lady.
We have Batman Incorporated issue 8. I am shocked that's an ongoing. I honestly thought that was like a 6-issue mini. Then we got Batman The Adventures Continue season 3 issue 5. Bit of a mouthful, but it's accurate as to what it is. More interesting though, after that we have Batman Superman World's Finest issue 15 with Dan Mora on the art again, which is nice. Maybe he was in the last one, but like they definitely missed an arc. That first cover is gorgeous with Batman and Superman. It's absolutely stunning. Is that Mora?
I believe it is.
Yeah, it's Mora. Yeah, it's got really interesting coloring that makes it look different to his other work, but it's gorgeous. For sure. So yeah, no, cool stuff. Yeah, and we've got some Professor Ivo stuff in this one, so neat. Yeah,
and someone named Ultramorpho. So I'm wondering if they're playing with Metamorpho.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have Black Adam issue 11, which is the penultimate issue of that Black Adam series.
I gotta get caught up on that. I will eventually.
Yeah, then we got Catwoman, which of course has like 5 covers. Is issue 55, Tini Howard writing, Nico Leon on the art. And to be fair, the art was good. Like my problem was just the writing with that book. The art was the art was solid when we tried this run. And then we have Danger Street, which looks like a box of cereal with Darkseid on the cover.
If you just saw me chuckle, guys, that's why I scrolled down. I was not expecting cartoon Darkseid.
Vitamin D! Oh, that's so funny!
Yep.
Vitamin D! For Darkseid, get it?
It's naturally fruit flavored.
Oh, that's pretty funny. So that's issue 6 of Danger Street. Obviously more on issue 3 later.
Oh, it's got a Shaner cover with the dingbats on there, which looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
but I can't believe that's Fornes doing the cover with Darkseid on the
it just goes to show that like an artist can change their style, and I think if anything as well, the coloring also is doing a lot there because there's all these flat colors. Yeah, but yeah, that's really interesting. All right, next up, do we actually have an issue of Dark Knights of Steel? Yeah, we do. Issue 11.
Number 11.
I feel like every issue, like it's had like at least 2 or 3 months between them recently. Mm-hmm. Like none of them have been back to back. But
weird. I do remember how the last one ended, so I'm excited to see.
I don't, but I'll remember when I look at the next issue.
Yes.
So yeah, that's cool. So that's almost going to be done because that's 11 of 12.
Yep.
Then we got DC Ruby issue 4. Obviously, we don't have much to say on that. Then we have Detective Comics 1072, which is obviously Ram V and Federici, which is exciting. Federici, of course, has been doing great work. So very nice. Fables 160, which is issue 10 of 12, which is weird to say. I get what they mean though. I kind of appreciate that they can bring it back for like a mini series, but just call it the next numbers. Like I'm all for that. Icon versus Hardware issue 4. And then we have Justice Society of America issue 6, I mean to say, with Jeff Johns and Michaela Yannin. Some nice Huntress covers, particularly the second one, which is the Paquette cover. Is good. Then we have Looney Tunes 272, Mad Magazine 32. We have Multiversity, Harley Screws Up the DCU issue 3. This is the Frank Thierry book.
It's the cover. I always pop for a Action Comics #1 where they get the guy, and they put someone in that spot, and it's Harley this time. So
yeah. Then we have your beloved Poison Ivy issue 12, with Wilson and Takara. So neat. I mean, that was announced earlier this month that it's officially going to go beyond that. So that's cool. And then we have Superman Lost issue 3. This is the Christopher Priest Superman book, which is 10 issues long. This is issue 3 of 10. So
that cover with him, I think that's a Lee Weeks cover.
Oh, when he's sitting at the desk.
Yeah, at the desk.
Yeah, he looks all sad.
I'm gonna need that. That's a good cover.
Oh, that's pretty neat. Then we got the Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries issue 8.
So it's fake Scooby-Doo gang across from them.
Oh god, we got Flash and Mr. Terrific in like with the bubbles on the glass bubbles on their head.
Either Deep Space or Deep Sea.
It's like it's an old school 50s Deep Space like pulpy nonsense. There's some nice that Flash family cover where they're all running.
Yes, it is
together. Oh baby,
rushing together.
So yeah, this is a Flash issue 798. Oh, I didn't realize we were so close to 800. Oh my.
8? Yeah, me neither.
So obviously they're building up to something big for issue 800 then. There's no way they're not.
No.
Has it been that long since 750 already? I mean, I okay, technically Flash has been like double shipping for a couple months, but it's still though, that's still a while since 750. Like time's flying by. My. So yeah, Jeremy Adams still writing. Yeah, very cool. And we're still double shipping in May because we also have 799. Yeah, which it does have some nice covers, but none of them are as nice as that one from the from 798. But cool all the same. Yeah. So yeah, building up to something big. Granny Goodness is involved. Probably my favorite cover of that batch actually for that issue is the one with Granny Goodness with Wally and like restraints. But really cool stuff. So it's interesting that it stayed double shipping, isn't it?
Yeah.
We said that last month, I think. But
maybe once they got into the to the groove of it, they're just gonna let it go until 800.
Yeah, maybe it's just till 800. Maybe once they get hit 800, they'll slow back down again. But that's kind of cool.
See what you did there.
Yeah. Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing. That last cover is pretty good for that. The one inside the mouth.
Yes. Very creepy.
It's a Matina cover, I think, actually. It looks Matina-esque. So that's very cool. And then we have the Sandman Universe Dead Boy Detectives issue 6. So, cool. not going to even try and say the guy's name because there's no way I can. Tim Drake, Robin, issue 9, up next. I thought that was a mini as well, but there it is, issue 9, still going. Very cool. Waller versus Wildstorm, issue 2. I guess this is one of these things that gets announced and I forget exists, so then we get to issue 2 and I'm like, wait, what? This exists? This is a Black Label 4-issue book, so this is issue 2, so prestige size. Oh, actually, I mean, the page count's not actually any bigger. It's just it's prestige, I think, in page size, but not in thingy. But yeah, so yeah, cool. Wildcats issue 7, that's still going, and then we have a Wonder Woman 799. So that's also about issue 800. It's a shame we've all fallen off that.
Yeah.
So it means we don't get to celebrate issue 800. Although I'm sure it's going to be like 100-page, you know.
Yeah, well, this has art by Terry Dodson in it, so yeah, I might check this out just because of that. But because it seems
what's interesting.
It's 2-part.
Yeah, it says this is a 2-parter, so it's a 2-part celebration of Wonder Woman. So obviously 800 is going to be a bigger part of it, but that's kind of weird. That makes it harder to just sort of jump into read issue 800 to celebrate it. That's a bit of a shame. But yeah, I don't know. I wonder if they'll announce a new creative team soon. Maybe maybe it's my bias. I'm hoping for it. I want to read Wonder Woman again. You know?
Yeah. No, I don't. I don't disagree. That's why. And then I saw Dotson's art. I was like, oh, this is the time. And then it said, oh, dang. Yeah,
it's all the same team. So that's the end of the single issue. So just to wrap up with the last of the collections, we have Absolute Batman Court of Owls, which is issues 1 to 11 of the New 52 Batman series. So speaks for itself, basically. Then we have Absolute Preacher Volume 2, which is a reprint. This is a new edition, because I've done all these before, but this is Volume 2, issues 27 through 40, plus a couple of specials. Absolute Transmetropolitan, Volume 2, again, they've done all these before, it's a new edition, the Warren Ellis book. Then we have Batman Arkham Catwoman, which is just a collection of like notable Catwoman stories. These are kind of like coffee table books, and I kind of get why they exist as a sort of collection of stuff, but I would never actually want to just sit and read like a book like this. You know, just random issues.
Yeah, it's random issues. It says it collects greatest tales from Batman #1, number 355, Catwoman from 89, 1 to 4, Catwoman 93, 54, Catwoman 2002, 25, Catwoman Secret Files and Origins 1, and Superman's Girlfriend Lois Lane 70 and 71. So it's kind of just like a hodgepodge of...
Yeah, it's just a collection of stories.
But it's got a great... is that a Middleton cover? No. It says cover by Middleton, but the signature is not Middleton. So...
Yeah, that doesn't look like Middleton, does it? No.
No, but I like that cover. That cover is really nice. So...
we got Batman Detective Comics Volume 2, Fear State. So this is the second Tamaki volume and softcover. Then we got DC versus Vampires All Out War Part 1. What do you mean Part 1? That's the miniseries.
Yeah, 128 pages, so I think that's only... Well, it's only 6 issues, right?
That was a 6-issue mini, yeah, but this is issues 1 to 3.
It collects 1 through 3 and DC versus Vampires Hunters.
All right, so yeah, there was like 2 of those one shots. So they're kind of milking it then by they're doing like 3 issues and then one of the one shots, which was like an annual size, and then they're going to do it again for the second half. That's kind of sketchy, DC. Like, couldn't you have just done one book that was like the miniseries and both one shots as like the main tie-in trade? No, okay, well, I call shenanigans on that. DC Mech hardcover. Well, they're really giving hardcovers to everything these days, aren't they? I wouldn't have expected that. Deathstroke Inc. Volume 1 by Williamson. Green Lantern Corps by Tomasi and Gleason Omnibus Volume 1.
Yeah.
Look at that.
This is my era of Green Lantern. I love this book. The Corps. So
Volume 1, presumably of 2. I don't think there's enough for a third volume.
So this is Recharge 1 through 5, Lantern Corps 1 through 3. Skipping the Dave Gibbons story, which is weird, which was 4, 5, and 6. 7 through 38.
But isn't that because it ties into the main Green Lantern book, though? It's like a crossover?
That story, no. So this one does, but that other story did this weird undercover thing that doesn't really tie into the rest of Green Lantern, and I love that a lot because they're so different. So, but it's missing that, and then it jumps back to 7 through 38, Green Lantern 21 through 25, Sinestro Corps special. So
it's collecting all the Sinestro Corps War, which is interesting because if you read the Jeff Johns Green Lantern omnibus alongside this, you'll have all those same issues again. So there's a little bit of overlap there, but I guess it's just so that you can read either one on its own without feeling like you're missing what the main story is. So that's interesting. It's got a couple of the Blackest Night relevant issues as well. I mean, obviously that's nice to go along with the Green Lantern omnibus if you've got the Johns collection, so that makes sense. I Am Batman Volume 1 by John Ridley, paperback, Sword of Azrael, softcover, Teen Titans Go box set issue 2, box set volume 2, you know what I mean. Then we have The Flash Volume 18, Search for Barry Allen. Wait, they're still numbering them from the start of Rebirth?
So it seems like
we're on Volume 18, they didn't renumber with Jeremy Adams? Whoa, that's nuts. But yeah, okay. So that's 780 to 789. It's actually quite a meaty trade, to be honest. It's 10 issues, but cool. Then a Joker, a puzzle box, soft cover, the Unwritten Compendium 1, by Mike Carey and Peter Gross.
Is that Tommy Taylor?
Yeah. Yeah, Young Justice Target, soft cover, that was that miniseries. And that wraps up. That's the end of the alphabet. So that is the Solicits for me.
Meaty.
Yeah, it was a meaty set. There's a lot of new stuff in there. You got the Titans book, you got you know, the new Shazam book, new Green Lantern book, plus those new Asian characters, there's 3 of those. You know, quite a meaty selection of books. What's weird though is there wasn't a lot for week 5 other than the 2 that I noticed, and neither one of which felt like ones that I would want to read.
Yeah.
Unless there was some other stuff for those dates. I'll tell you what, I'll control F it. So Power Girl Special is on week 5. The new Talent Showcase is on week 5. The Suicide Squad Kill Arkham Asylum issue 1 is on week 5. And then that's it. Damn, week 5. Wow. We better think of something funny to do that week because there's bugger all out. Oof, hopefully some things will get delayed. Any week 5. That's what we can hope for now.